Imagine a city where innovation meets sustainability, where technology drives growth, and where a high quality of life is the standard. This is Konza Technopolis. As we unveil Konza, the vision in progress, we talk to some of the founding visionaries. The beginnings were tough. No walk in the park. Listen to this.
The story had been carried out to President Kibaki that in order to break the sound barriers in terms of development, we need to have a smart city grounded on digital, in the digital space.
President Kibaki was very instrumental in the development of Konza Technology Park. By the time he was announcing this, it had been a culmination of many thoughts. By the time the president decided, it was an incident where he was meeting the CEO of IBM. She promised that she would put up a facility to provide business process outsourcing jobs in Kenya. And with that, the president asked me to find a space where they would put up this facility. Eventually, the consultancy firm directed that the best place would be where Konza is today.
And so we were appointed as a director. My chairman was a good friend of mine, John Gumi.
We were founded under a Gazette notice. So we didn't come in under an Act of Parliament, which came with its own disadvantages. We were founded in the middle of the financial year. We had no budget. We had no offices. We didn't even see the title deed of Konza until much later.
The idea of Konza Technopolis was born in 2008 as part of the ambitious Vision 2030 initiative to propel Kenya into a knowledge-based economy.
We were given 5,000 acres of land. Land that I knew very well because I come from that area. Grassland, antelopes, snakes, ostriches, and we are told this is where the city will be.
We also had an existential issue because it wasn't clear where Konza lay. So Makueni and Machakos counties both lay claim to Konza, and so did, to a lesser extent, Kajiado County. Each governor came with a series of maps to show that this was originally the colonial government. This is maps from the 50s, 60s. We managed to convince them that there's no point in arguing over Konza, which has not yet been developed.
So my first assignment when I came to Konza as Director of Infrastructure and Planning was to revise the master plan. That was the first assignment, okay? And I remember Dr. Mutiso telling me, Patrick, I want this master plan as the first output so that we correct some of the mistakes that were in it and also to align it to conditions on the ground and then to customize it to our own, liking, because it was initially designed by foreign consultants.
MDP2 had done the master plan, riding on the delivery from MDP1. So you have the master plan in place, and you say this contractor must now operate within the confines of this master plan through EPCF arrangement. Within like 3-4 months, we had a contractor on site, ICM.
So it delayed, but by then we had done significant amount of work, acquired the land, began to build the horizontal infrastructure. We raised funds to build Twake Dam, which is meant to provide water to Konza. And then we had also contacted some companies, especially the Chinese companies that have put up the data center in the place.
First of all, about the horizontal investment, infrastructure, which is the roads, the water, the electricity, other services. We fought very hard to bring a substation, to have some work done for infrastructure. We had a partner who had been identified. Cisco had done the initial planning, and then a company called Tetra Tech of Denver, Colorado, was hired to work with us on both the horizontal infrastructure, on a 5-year contract, on both the horizontal infrastructure and on creating the city. The bulk of my years were taken up in setting up the systems and the infrastructure.
Officially launched in January 2013 by President Mwai Kibaki.
I would like to call upon both domestic and foreign investors to take advantage of the tremendous opportunities that Konza Technology City offers.
And just to illustrate how Mwai Kibaki could see things from a distance, when he came to inaugurate it, I think it was in January 2013 or February, it was before, just before the election. As we waited for him, he stopped on the roadside for about half an hour. And we were wondering what's happened. Why is the Mzee not driving in? People called and were told, Anakuja. They drove in. Then he came to the holding tent. And then he says, this is a beautiful development. But Bwana Chairman, let me ask you. You will build this beautiful establishment, and then what will be out there? What he was pointing out, and I'm not a planner, a physical planner, is that unless we also had a hand in the physical planning of the area around Konza, what we would get was haphazard, chaotic developments, which would diminish the value of Konza. And that's why today you see Konza actually has physical planning around.
A visionary smart city in the heart of Kenya, set to transform the nation's future. Strategically located 67 kilometers from Nairobi, Konza Technopolis is more than just a city. It's a beacon of Kenya's Vision 2030.
They should graduate and immediately move to capitalize on the knowledge that they have, on the resources that are available in the country, so that we create wealth and improve the human development index of our people.
Konza Technopolis was established to enable Kenya move towards what we call a digital economy, to be able to accelerate its growth in innovation and knowledge economy.
By the way, while some quarters keep thinking this is a white elephant project, come along and see how far from the truth that is.
To develop this master technopolis, there was a lot of work that was needed to be done in as far as master planning was concerned. First, we were able to put in the plan and then have the plan approved of a smart city. And then we were in the phase where we were looking for resources and financing to be able to finance the construction of the master plan. Now, having gotten the funding for the project, we were able to set up and begin construction in earnest. And that was the year 2018 when we began the construction of the horizontal infrastructure.
Konza Technopolis is fully on course and it's on time. We're impressed that the foundational requirements are in place. We needed to have the basic horizontal infrastructure. This is to ensure you have the roads, you have electricity, you have wastewater, you have fresh water, and all the basic things now of a smart city.
This is tremendous progress being made to realize this great city envisioned by our founding visionaries. Because of its expansiveness, from outside, you may not think much is happening until you come to the actual locations And lo and behold, the city is actually taking shape.
In the whole world, it's only in China where a city can grow in a year. Because they have the sheer population, they have the numbers, and they have the resources. But a city, cash-strapped as Konza was, must grow in phases, methodically, organically, as people invest. So, it's a process. Sometimes, if you're a rich country, it can take 10 years. Even the Silicon Valley we are benchmarking took 30 years to materialize in the United States of America. Konza is not even 15 years.
Beginning to construct such a big project, you find that you are required to go down first. When you go down first, it means you are doing a lot of excavations and a lot of earthworks and a lot of backfilling. And by the time you come up and people are able to see what you are doing, then it takes quite some time. So over the years, even those who pass along the road, they would say they only see animals. And yet at that point, we were constructing downwards to lay the foundation for the horizontal infrastructure.
National and international labor force has converged here to create a great city. All over the place, there are men at work. Oh, and women at work. From the gate to the Konza cradle, you see the streetscapes along.
Streetscape, these are the roads where we've done about 40 kilometers of what we call streetscape, all under asphalt. And this is well-designed roads which have got bicycle lanes. It has got traffic signaling to ensure ease of transport within the city, and provision for bus rapid transit within the city.
This road corridor will host the scape. That's the tree. The tree is planted to provide 70% shade. It will also have bicycle lanes.
The conference facility is almost taking shape. Inside here are major establishments. Among others is the Open University of Kenya, the Africa Center for Technology Studies, and the Green and Digital Innovation Hub.
We have achieved quite bold milestones and investments that are now actually yielding results. We have 2 universities. The first one was chartered last year, and as we speak, 2,000 students are learning in the first open learning university in Kenya that is located at Konza Technopolis.
Across are the beautiful furnished apartments, and down the beautiful city street is the city's security establishment that will house all the city security apparatus. Across is a major electricity installation. Power will never be an issue here.
Now as Konza, we have designed the city to have power redundancy. So we have one main source, which is a substation built by Ketraco, which draws its power all the way from our carrier. This is geothermal power, green energy. And we built within Konza a 400 132 66 kV substation. And we've also factored in having a solar power farm. And that also within Konza Technopolis will provide a very important source of green energy as part of smart city infrastructure.
Down the city highways, you find this humongous upcoming Kenya's first of its kind research university modeled after the Korean KAIST University.
We are big in research and development, and therefore we made a decision to ensure we plan for university band as a complete land use itself, and we're actually anchoring the first development university called the Kenya Advanced Institute of Science and Technology. This will support research and development for the commercial and technology areas of the development.
At Konza, we also have the first postgraduate research-only university in Kenya. This university is molded after one of the best universities in the world. That is the Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology. That is actually one of the top 50 universities. As it gets its mentorship in its establishment years, we are looking at a facility that is comparable to one that has resulted in the realization of innovations such as Samsung Hyundai, the vehicles. And so all that is what we envision to happen at Konza.
Overlooking the city's western side is the famous Konza Tier 3 data center, the Konza Cloud.
Data is the oil of today. That means that we stand an opportunity to make use of the data that we have and provide opportunity and solutions using the data.
We are talking about a state-of-the-art data center that has made it now possible for the country to digitally transform.
The data center holds multiple certifications, including TIA N42 2017 accreditation, LEED Platinum certification, and Uptime Institute Tier 3 certification. This ensures that our infrastructure is not only reliable, but also energy efficient and sustainable.
And of course, from the data center, we've been able to build what we're calling a Konza Cloud, where our services now can be accessed over the internet. Businesses do not have to worry about investing in hardware on their premises, but then now just focus to host in Konza. We've been able to benefit from a wide array of cloud solutions, from backup, from ERPs, from...
The city is taking shape. Across is the wastewater management facility.
We had the wastewater reclamation facility, which is a state-of-the-art wastewater treatment plant that is able to recycle the wastewater and up to the WHO standard, in that water can basically be consumed as a drinking water. In the Technopolis, we'll be using that water for irrigation of the landscape.
On the northern side and in a vantage high level, the city will receive and treat all its residents' water. It is here that millions of liters of water will flow to the city's residents' kitchens.
We have a water treatment plant. This is a 63 million liter capacity facility which has been designed to receive water from 3 major sources. The first one, we have about 5 boreholes that were providing the initial water for construction. Then we have a dedicated pipeline that comes from north to Resh, that is from the slopes of Kilimanjaro all the way to Konza. And on the third phase at full build, we'll have a pipeline from the Thwake Dam. And this is to take care of a population of about 250,000 people by 2030 or 2040 thereabout, when the city is fully occupied.
True to the city's vision, here you will live, work and play. And of course, eat and have fun.
Konza has factored in 30% of green spaces, open parks, and we are looking at creating phenomenal, memorable moments out of those parks. Theme parks, botanical gardens, all of them contributing to the ecology of the ecosystem of the Technopolis.
What a city this will be. You better make up your mind while the investment opportunities still last. On our way back, here is a sports facility pitch.
We have also provided for a 60,000 smart sports stadium. And also complementing that is to establish a sporting academy. At Konza, we also have a golf course. There's a 18-hole planned golf course, and we are evaluating some investors who have expressed interest already in these investments.
Greening in the city is not just a statement. There are tree nurseries here, and trees planted are taking shape.
The nursery has a capacity of doing up to 10 million seedlings annually. And this is our contribution to the National Tree Growing Restoration Campaign. There is what we call My Tree Initiative, which is an initiative by Konza Technopolis staff to at least plant 30 trees every financial year.
Seen them? They're not in a game park. They are right inside the technology city. It is the only city where wildlife is your neighbor.
When you look at the city's master plan, towards the southern end, the nature park, which is towards the north, joins with the conservation area. There is a feature that is called a haha wall, which is a mound of soil that is put that acts as a viewpoint for residents. You can be able to stand on the top of it and see the animals. So the connectivity happens at the southern end, where the big animals are not able to cross the haha wall, but the smaller ones, there's an underpass or an overpass for passage towards the up of the city, which is the nature park. So that is intentional, because we have our bands the way they are, the different construction that is happening We also want the people on the northern side to be able to interact with animals.
Have you invested at Konza? What are you waiting for? Invest today in Africa's future city that is in the offing. You too can be part of this journey. Connect, engage, thrive at Africa's Silicon Savannah. For more information, visit www.konza.go.ke or email us at invest@konza.go.ke. Invest in Konza Technopolis today and be a part of Kenya's bright future.